Anybody see me? Okay, let me turn off the sound on my phone. All right, so right now I'm just setting up, and we're gonna make sure that this is a good layout for the video. I'll put my hat on. Well, let me scoot this back a bit. Maybe clean up this mess a bit. So wondering what's on my top hat? It's a bunch of Disney pins. Actually, hang on. I need to adjust this because I can't really see what's going on the chat. Okay. Can you see me okay? I'm gonna set up my phone so I can get a better view on what's going on. Guess I'll just wait for you guys. I'll be right back, folks. I'm gonna go get some coffee. I just finished making some in the kitchen. All right, I'm back and I got my coffee ready with my little, with one of my favorite characters from the Spider and the Butterfly on there. By the way, you can get these on Etsy from Dragon Fox Girl, I think. I actually forget where I got it from. It used to say so on the bottom, but that kind of faded after I washed it. Oh, and by the way, I'm not sponsored by the Meatly Games or the Kindly Beast. Who's here? Yeah, my nose is itchy. Test, test. Okay, that's good. Right now I'm watching the stream on my phone, so I can see what you guys see. It's just a little laggy on my phone. It's like behind by 3 seconds, maybe 1.5. Hey, Zach. I think I'll play some music while we're waiting. How do I do this? I'll have to go to my iTunes and play it on there. I'll have to watch the chat from over there, like on the computer. Um, I picked out a lot of background music. Can you guys still hear me when it's going? Cool. Hey, Kayla. I'm just waiting for everybody else right now. By the time it's 2:30, we'll get started on the tutorial. What is that? Oh, it's a turd emoji. Nice, Kayla. Nice. That's like Kayla's thing. She always likes to send turd emojis. I may have to bring my computer closer so I can see better. That's a cat in a box. Dude, why are you so surprised that Zach Null's here? I invited him. Zach is normally late. Oh. No offense, bro, but you haven't really done much to change our minds about that. Just getting everything organized right now. Itchy eye. I was wondering if I should do it without the hat, because it's a little distracting. What do you guys think? Coffee. I have a mug that was made by Dragon Fox Girl on Etsy. She's the one who made the character that this is based off of. Thank you. They are nice pins. What are you drinking? I'm drinking coffee. Nice pins. Love the hat. Comes to chat, gets publicly criticized. Zach, come on, don't be offended by that. We all joke around. You know this. couldn't be closer to the truth, Kayla. Wouldn't be a family reunion without insults. Do I get to moderate the chat? What does that mean? Five minutes till showtime. No, nice try, Deuce. I appreciate you asking. I'm not going to let you do that this time. I see we got 2 new viewers. Who else is here? Maybe next time. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, Deuce is the nickname for my brother-in-law, Zach Hinkle, because his name is Zach, and my oldest brother is Zach, so it kind of based off of a character from I don't know if I showed you the video called The Spider and the Butterfly. It's a very nice love story. She's the baby. $3 till showtime. About next time, I'd have to figure out how to let you moderate it. Like, Deuce, I might let you do a next video, like next live stream. But I need to know first what you're gonna do and what I need to do to let you do that. Oh, and if anybody needs to go to the bathroom, I suggest you do it now because the process. Do I have any sponsors? No, I don't. I just wanted to try this out. I don't know if you know this, Zach. Wait. Oh, oops. I was looking at the wrong one. I thought Zach Hinkle was Zach Knoll because how did I get that wrong? I don't know. You both have the name Zach in the beginning of your icons there when you're in the chat, so it kind of confuses me. But that's okay. I'll figure it out. I don't have sponsors. I just wanted to try this out to see if I can. Zach Knoll, one of your... Huh? CLBZ Homes will sponsor you. Who's that? Oh, before I forget, Zach Knoll, one of your comments in the chat kind of is buffering. It's been buffering for 10 minutes. Oh, well, if you could repeat what you said in the next to last comment you made, if you could repeat that so I can see it, that'd be great. Oh, your luxury tiny home company. That's cool. Maybe I'll consider that. All right, everybody, it's showtime. Today, as you guys know, today I'm making one of these little darlings. It's the daughter of the spider and the butterfly. I have the spider and the butterfly in this bag over here. Let me get those real quick. I have the butterfly here. And gotta unfold the legs. And I got the spider. Don't they make a cute couple? I see Zach. No, I see that one. I'm talking about the second to last one. One of those. The second to last one's been buffering this whole time. Okay, so yes, Gail. Guys, let's demo here. Come in. What? Hold on, I can't hear her. What? She wants to be. She doesn't want to be on camera, but she wants to watch. So let me put something in front of the screen so she can sneak past. Here, go, Gail. Go lay on the bed. Has to be here when I'm doing stuff. That's the mattress over there. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's begin with the main body. I have done a prototype for the body. I haven't added the eyes or the wings or anything, but it looks pretty good so far. I am going to, like, it's a complete remodel from what this is supposed to. Huh? How many push-ups? There's no way on earth that you can do 700 push-ups, Zach. No, I wasn't talking to Almond Joy. It was Gail, my stepmom. I don't get it. I'm basically doing a whole remodel to this, how I made this. Like the wings are cardboard underneath. I'm going to be using steel wire wound up in loops with aluminum wire. The aluminum wire wound around it makes it more durable. But for now, I'm going to show you how I do the main body, the legs, head, and arms, and what's this part, Gail? There's the head, the abdomen, and thorax. I feel like this is the abdomen, head, and Gail's just gonna be over here giggling the whole time. The chat, not your mom. Very nice, Zach. Real nice. All right. So first, you cut your wire to the right length you want. And here's a technique that I figured out a few days ago. You know how it's nice and round and poofy? And the same with the head, it's a certain shape, it's not flat. Like if you look at my yarnies, the way I shape the head, it's sort of flat compared to, like on this side, it's flat compared to this side. I found a way to make it three-dimensional. I'm going to show you how to do that with sort of the same technique on how you, it's kind of the same technique for how you bend the hands and the feet and the ears to make sure no wire is sticking out. But for now, I'm going to just start wrapping. I apologize to all of you if this is going to be a bit tedious to watch. It's just going to be me wrapping, like not like M&M chop. It's going to be like wrapping yarn around this thing for about 75% of the time. The rest is just going to be bending the wire and stuff. Thank you, that Gail. You said you were going to be. Didn't you say you were going to be quiet about this? Please be quiet. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this part, and then I'm going to collect it in a bundle of yarn here. So when I bend it, it's all just going to fold over, and I can just wrap around it, and it'll make a nice little ball for the abdomen or the thorax or whatever. Is the rear end of a Is this a good way to add mass to the art? Yes, it is. If you guys have any questions, like if I didn't show you guys properly a certain segment in this video, let me know and I'll answer the question for you. So just wrap your yarn around here a few times. And you want this wire to be nice and thick with yarn as you're going. Like, let me scooch this over here, tighten it, the wrapping as I go. And just wrap around back and forth until it gets a nice thick bundle of yarn around it. I'll explain more as I go, but for now, let's just do this. Well, before I do that, let me move this yarn from here. I need a bare spot on the tail, so that way I can attach the legs properly. Like, move it there. You want that much space in between the wrapped part of the tail and where the legs are supposed to go. We'll wrap more yarn around that a little bit later, but for now, let's just do this. I'm going to leave a bare spot on the end, so that way I can firmly wind that on the Gail's videotaping me. Hey, Mom. Oh, by the way, Gail, I
They're at Essex.
Oh, so not really?
They're working today.
Okay. I will save this on YouTube, so that way they can just look at it later.
Good.
In fact, I might edit this and cut out some of the tedious parts.
That would be a good idea.
Because I don't want them sitting here for 2.5 hours watching a recorded video without being able to be a part of the chat and just miss out on everything. That'd be no fun.
So this will be a good thing for you to show Star ability that you could teach a class.
Yeah, as long as that. I think we need to make the skeletons for them, so that way they don't get poked. Because this wire does poke you.
Perfect idea.
Hey, Sherwin. To be honest with you, I want to do that and make sure that I don't overlook any comments. All right, so we're getting a nice thickness here. I'm going to keep making it more bundled up on this segment. And just so you know how far you need to measure this, let me get the little tape measure I got here. First, let me get this knot out. Do you guys like the music at all in the background? I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. How did another knot get on here? Ain't no party like a yarny party. You're darn right. All right, so if you look here, the amount of yarn you're supposed to wrap around this is 6 inches. 6 inches of wrapped yarn around this wire. As for the bald spots, like patches where I didn't put yarn on the wire, you can have that as long as you like, as long as you can put it together, like after you fold it, as long as you can. Okay. As long as you can wind this part with that part and make it nice and refined, you're good to go. Oh, and by the way, in my previous Yarny videos, I said I was going to post those drawn, like those traced around templates of my Yarnies, but I forgot to do that. I'm going to do that hopefully after this stream, so that way you guys can print it out. Like, I'll use the Gail's fax machine. What are you doing? Why do you want the purple yarn?
Somebody asked me to post something purple.
Oh my gosh. See what I gotta work with? Alright, so now that I got this pretty nicely wound, I'm gonna focus on not near the center, well, somewhere in the center. Just a little bit off to this side where it's right there, the short bald patch. I'm going to focus there, and I'm going to ball this up. Well, I don't know, maybe we'll work on the center. We'll make this nice and round like that. If I remember correctly, the drawing for Veve, otherwise known as the Spiderfly in the video, the spider and the butterfly, she has a really round abdomen. Well, no, why do I keep saying that? A round thorax, like her mother. As the spider, she has a very round thorax. I realized I made it a little small, but I was on a time crunch when I made the original dolls, so I kind of had to hurry up with it. I remember that like it was yesterday. I was fixing them up in Lorenzo Walker Technical School. That's a community college. Well, it's more like a private community. What was it, Gail? Was it a community college?
Yes. Technical community college.
For independent living. Thank you, Gail. It was a school where I learned life skills on how to be independent. Okay. Now that you got that done, you're going to want to bend it here until you get that little shape. See that? And you want to line up the hook. And after you do that, you can tighten it and finalize it with the pliers. Yes, it is. Like, it depends on where you're bending it. Like, if you bend it in the center, you're going to want to wind it up in the center. So that way you can get a nice round abdomen on the Spiderfly. And now that we got that bend, we wrap it around all the way around until it's. Notice how it's more plump here. I might have put a bit too much, but that's okay. We can equalize it by wrapping more around the part where the hole is. We want to cover up that hole anyway, so that way it doesn't look like she's had like a serious injury or something. Like, I don't know any bug on Earth that has a hole in the abdomen. Unless it's a dead bug, honestly. And after the video, I might have a few special announcements for some new tutorials that I'm working on. Like, I'm working on some, it's going to be yarn art all the same, but I'm working on fan characters for Hollow Knight. I don't know, Zach Knoll is a gamer, or at least he used to be a serious gamer. So I remember him talking about games like that. I don't know, Zach, have you heard about that game yet? So just tighten that up a bit more where you want it to be finalized. If you have any bald parts or anything. Until you get that nice little piece there. I accidentally hit this thing. So now that we got that, let's work on the legs. And what you want to do, actually, let me take a look at this real quick. There. The legs aren't all that, well, they're pretty long, but they're stick-like because she's still a baby in the video where she came from. So it's kind of, she's got twig legs. So let me cut that. I made like a little M shape with that much wire on it. I did that so that way I would have enough to wind around the body here. And, well, actually, no. I know what to do. I'll make another piece like that. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. I did refine a bunch of my techniques for this, but to be honest with you, I'll it out and we'll work on that. Okay. Trim that. And we got two of those shapes. In the video, she has 4 legs on the abdomen because she doesn't have 8 legs because she was the spawn of a spider and a butterfly, so naturally they would have, well, she would at least have the leg length, the leg number, like the count of legs on there. I don't know what to call it. So after you get these pieces made, what I do, well, let me see. I might do some here where, here we go. we'll do this. We'll put them in an X formation, and we'll sort of crisscross those around so it's nicely even and wound up together. There you go. Now we got that. Let's take a look at these, see if they're the appropriate length. You want to have like an X piece here for the legs. It looks good so far. If you aren't very confident in it, bend them like this, like an H, so that we can get a look up if those legs are symmetrical. See? Like an H, or an eye with really long top and bottom parts. Now I gotta take a look at this. It looks pretty even. Oh, well, yeah, it's good. What's a good length for the legs? Good question. Who asked that? Zach Knoll? Let me take a look. If I overlook a certain detail that I need to tell you guys, ask in the chat, and I'll let you know. So, starting from there and over here, let me have this nice and flat. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are wondering what this music is, I took a playlist of the background music from Unravel 2, and Hollow Knight, the peaceful songs, not the epic battle songs. And in this, the leg length is, well, if you're holding it this way, it's, let me turn it around so you can see better. From what I saw, it's give or take 8 inches. See? So that way you want it to be 8 inches. When you go the other way, like if you measure on the other angle, you get, let me line this up. You get 8.5 inches. See how I did that? Like I took the wound piece of those and I lined it up to this. Then I'm going to take a random piece of wire and I'm going to wind it over both those little bits of wire here. See? So give me a second. Start on this end. I'm trying to show you guys as I do this because like sometimes I kind of have to do it off camera. I do try and keep it on camera, but sometimes it's difficult. Hang on, this is a challenge. Oh, I know. I have a better idea than that. Just let me take this little bit I put on there off. I have a better piece than just using a small piece of wire to connect the legs to the body. I had this body length this long for a reason. You'll see why in a second. So I had it there, and I'm going to wrap. There we go. So we got that nice and secure. So what I did is I wrapped the bald part of that little bit there. I wound it around the centerpiece in between all 4 legs. Now I have all this to work with. My hand was shaking there. I have all this to work with for making the body and the head. I might need to fasten this yarn down because it's kind of slipping. How I fix this little fraying on the end here. First, let me work this way off. My head's getting hot from this hat. I might take it off in a little bit and swap for the fedora because that's more lightweight and it's not so hot. So what we're gonna do, if you have one of these, a yarn needle, what I do is I take some wire with a little bend in it like a hook, just enough to push it through that hole there. You can see it. Then I hook the yarn around that little bit, and I pull it all the way through with the hook. The hook kind of carries the yarn through that. I kind of stitch over the loose parts back there, and I pull to make sure it's held back, kind of like how ladies use a scrunchie to hold their hair back or something. Like, what is it, Gil? Curl? Is it a scrunchie or what? Like, you have those little hair pins that hold your hair back. A bobby pin, that's it. It's like bobby pin stitches. Let's call it that. Oops, it fell off the needle. Let me put it back on. Good trick. Thank you. Honestly, I figured that out when I first started out my YouTube videos. I think it was in one of my first tutorials, actually. If you want to go fancy with this stitch, you take the loop, like that's connecting from that to this end here, and you loop it around the needle, and it does that little bit that's holding it down. We're going to keep doing this until it is nicely fastened and it won't go loose anymore. Let me do another loop there. Okay. You don't always have to do this when there's, like, sometimes if you do it right, like, I admit I did the thorax a little loose on that end, so that's why it's all coming undone a little bit on that end. If you do it right, you won't have to do this process. Like, it's tedious as all heck. If it works, I keep practicing that technique. That's how I did the eyes. Like, if you look at the yarny eyes, and if you saw my recent YouTube videos, I've used the same technique for a while now, where, like, you know how I would stitch? That technique I figured out a few weeks before I started my YouTube videos. So it kind of stuck to me in that way. Part. I may need the pliers for that. I'm gonna kind of bend it and crimp it, so that way it. Hang on. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm gonna clamp that part. But anyway, we're done with that part where we just stitch around the thorax. Now what we're gonna do, one here. I might finish that one and show you how it looks, or I might turn it into something else, like these little fan characters. These are from Hollow Knight. It's a bug world where it's kind of like a bug kingdom where this young, small knight with a cloak and a mask and a tiny sword. He's a lot shorter than this guy. This is just a fan character. Basically, he goes on adventures and he tries to save the kingdom from an infection. Am I drifting too much? Okay. Sorry, I lost track of what's going on. Gail was pointing it out to me. Thank you, Gail. Everyone, thank.
You're just supposed to give a thumbs up.
It keeps buffering. Is it just mine? I did see it on my phone, and it was buffering a lot. Like, if there's anything you didn't see in the chat, let me know and I'll show it to you. The house Wi-Fi is kind of garbage right now because, Gail, I'm not even going to say what just happened. See, seriously, Gail, Mom and Sharon are watching this.
Can't see.
For you, Mom? I'm going to start on the leg yarn. Use black yarn for the legs. if you're trying to make it accurate to the character in the video. So what you do, you leave a little bit of the gray yarn, then you take some of the black yarn and you tie those in a knot. Try and keep it as close to the body as you can, so that way you don't have to mask the leftover gray in there on the legs. It would help. It helps a great deal, trust me. Let me just make sure I got this right. Okay. I'm going to double knot it just in case. Yours is buffering too. Our house has a few dead zones. Let me see if I can relocate. 1 second. Alright, while I'm doing the set, I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes to get some tea, maybe some coffee, go to the bathroom. This is an intermission. I'm gonna relocate this. Oh, look at that. Well, you already saw it, it's whatever. I need to take out my trash. So let me just relocate all my stuff so we can start again in 5 minutes. 5-minute intermission, everybody. No, it's okay? Well, I do need to get a refill on my coffee because I just drank it all. Let me see if I can. I want this to be very good quality of a stream. So I relocated my computer and let me see. Move the pink yarn here. So we'll move all these over here. Let me bring, I don't think I need to charge my phone that much anymore. There's plenty of charge now. I'll leave it over there so you can hear plenty of the music. Is the music too loud from that far away? Or from that close up? Alright. So I got my setup ready again. Let's go back. Around there. Well, the lighting's kind of bad in here. Let me turn on the light behind me. Maybe that'll help. I think that's a little bit better. Is to wrap around the legs. There's a little snag of gray on there. I'm going to wrap around that in a second. There's some people who play video games and they use profanity. Mom and Sharon, I know you guys don't like profanity, so if you don't want to hear cool stuff, that's done to the game, and it's a lot of good artistry. So once you get to, well, hang on, I skipped a step. Hang on. If you guys notice in my YouTube videos where I pre-record everything, like off stream, you notice that it's cut a lot. That's because I make a bunch of mistakes in the middle of the video, so I have to cut those mistakes out. So with the stream, oh, hey, Joel, when'd you get here? Where you can have that little end there where you do that. Hang on. I might just. So after I do that leg, I'll move on to this leg. Let me see if I can get closer to you guys. Okay. If you guys don't know what scrunching is on this channel, I'll show you. If you wind it up here and the yarn looks a little loose, you push it down the wire so that way it's nice and tight around there. Then you go over again, scrunch that. You keep going over till you cover up the tip of the wire. See how it's a little bit there? What you do, after you wind it to the end of the wire, you bend it to a U shape, kind of like a hook. And then you can cover up the tip of the wire with more yarn. So that way no one gets poked when you're messing with the legs. How's Zach? Joel, you could ask Zach right now. He's in the chat. What's Zach talking about? Zach Null or Deuce? By the way, Gail, I explained who Deuce is. So you don't have to worry. They know what it means. All right. Deuce? Yeah, that's Zach Hinkle's nickname, aka me and Zach Null's brother-in-law, who married our sister Kayla. I don't think I'll ever forget Kayla's wedding. It was really fun. Like, it was one of those moments where I was dancing for one of the few times in my life, and my way of dancing is I shadow box. Real quick, let me show you this. Wrap around to the end of the wire. It's going to stick out on the end, and that's not really fun for anyone if they get poked. So wrap around and bend the tip where the wire is sticking out and have it face the body, like the opposite direction of where it was. In my previous videos, you would know how I do that. But I thought I'd show you guys again in the event that some of you are new here. Oh, and by the way, if you guys hear me breathing as I'm winding up, I'm sorry. I don't really know how to fix that. As I said, the winding of yarn on these things is kind of tedious, and it kind of takes it. She says I can walk around the neighborhood, but honestly, I don't want to do that. I'd rather go to the gym.
What's wrong with rollerblading?
I don't have my rollerblades anymore.
Well, you just get a new pair.
I might get skates. Those are more fun. What do you guys think? Rollerblades or roller skates? I feel like skates would be more fun. I want to learn how to reuse those again. One time I was in Tucson, then went to a roller rink. I was really bad at skates. I want to see if I can learn it again. So got that. Bend it completely around and mask it with more yarn. You want to mask the exposed wire with more yarn. Let me get some more slack out of this. Okay, there we go. I might use skates the most because I know how to use rollerblades like the back of my hand. So now that we got the legs wrapped, we can start working on the body. Now for the body, there's two halves to the body, as you know from this. A gray part in the belly and the white part on the chest. I'm going to do the belly first with the little... Yep. I have a scrap piece of gray right here that we can use. I always save my scrap yarn in the event that I have small details that I can do. Like, it saves me a lot of time and a lot of resources. So trim it to the part where you want it. And based upon, like, if you want to know how long do I want it to be, you basically want it somewhere like that, long enough to where you can tie a knot with the next color that you're using. We're going to try and do this with one strand of yarn. Well, with one strand of many pieces tied together, because I hate when that happens. If you have a knot like that and it's just a loop, just pull on it a little bit and make sure it's sturdy. And if it's sturdy enough, like here's another example. If it's sturdy enough and it won't come undone, just snip the loop off and you have those little two pieces that are holding together. It's easy as that. It's not that hard. I am not a complicated. Well, I'm where we left off. I'm gonna tie a big knot here. Well, not big, just big enough to hold together, but small enough to where I can mask over it. Let me show you that real quick. So yeah, knot consistent of gray and black. So what you want to do, you want to extend it to the point where you want it to begin. You just start winding around and around until you can get exactly what you need. All the way up here. Like I'll do that, and I'll make it the right thickness I need for that section, and I'll cover half of this gray section with white yarn after I do the head. Like I'll do the white chest after I do the stomach and the head. Oh, and by the way, okay, no new comments yet. If you guys come across any ideas that I could do for yarn art, I'd be more than happy to try it out on stream. Like, as long as you guys are willing to watch. Because I'm not trying to make this a serious stream. Like, you don't have to do this project if you don't want to. I just thought I'd share my techniques with you as we're discussing in chat. And you guys have done phenomenal so far on the discussion, so I thank you for that. Get started on the head. Would you guys like me to make the spider and the butterfly in two other live streams? Like one live stream for the spider and another live stream for the butterfly. Would you like me to do that? You can say so in the chat if you want to. Maybe a flower made of yarn? I can do that. I think. They have to figure it out. I might use the same technique that I'm using for the butterfly wings today. We'll see where that goes. In the video, her legs kind of arch over the part where they connect to the body. Like if you take a look at this one, the legs go up over the part where they connect. So you want to do that with this. Kind of like that. Step. Give me a second. I missed a step. I forgot to make the wire part for the arms. Silly me. Butterfly looks cool. Yeah, he really does. There's actually an interesting detail on this that's based off the video. See the white stitching there? That is supposed to be silk from the spider. The butterfly had a torn wing. They both were trapped in the tall grass, and she decided to fix his wing with her own spider silk. And that's how they became a couple. After she fixed his wing, she and him felt a connection together after he flew them out of the grass. A choice to make. He had a choice to either go with the other butterflies for mating season, or he could stay with the spider and like basically be her husband. I honestly think he made the best choice by marrying the spider, because like I know it's not biologically possible in our world today, or ever, to be honest, because spiders are predators. But if it results in a cute little darling like this, I'd take that any day. Oh, and by the way, if you guys know of any of DeviantArt, I highly recommend looking that up. I think the picture is called Spider and the Butterfly, the Best Parents. And it's a picture of Veve flying with her dad, the butterfly, and learning how to weave webs with the spider. It's a very nice moment, and I like it. So let me grab this piece and wrap it around here for the arms. Kind of go up to there, you see? I go up to there. I'll measure it real quick for you, so that way you guys know how much to do. Just wrap it around a little bit. Make sure that the arms are at the same height. And you can shorten them as you go. It all depends on where the body ends and where the head starts. Like if you look at this, the body was like, it's kind of like that. I gave it a neck. I'll show you how I did that. For now, let me measure the body real quick, like where it starts and ends. The gray part of the body starts here, like where I have my thumb. And if you put the tape there, if you put the one by where it starts, like the 1 inch, It's 2 inches long to where the arms start. Between the legs and the arms, that's where it is. Let me wrap a little bit around the torso. I might shorten the arms a bit because I feel like I have them a bit too long. I'll measure how the arms should be in a second. Trim that.
And or should I read what the maker of the game, how he describes Yarny?
What do you mean?
I looked it up, and he has an explanation of the game Yarny.
I did leave a link in the description to how he describes Yarny. He's like a positive helper, right?
I shortened it.
Oh, how'd you shorten it?
Want me to read it?
Sure. That's Gil, by the way.
A small anthropomorphic creature made of yarn that the player navigates through the environment utilizing the unraveling yarn. The yarn that makes up Yarny represents love, and that the character unravels as he travels away from what he loves. Since the whole game is about trying to mend broken bonds, the game is very symbolic. It's about reaching out, trying to mend a broken bond. You don't really do that without effort. I think there has to be some effort into remaking your bonds. You have to work for it in order for it to mean something. This simple yet beautiful game reminds us that we learn our own past experiences through items, pictures, and places. The game Unravel manages to exceed all the expectations.
I'm willing to admit that I shed a few tears when I first saw the game.
So I think that's a good explanation you should put on you should post somewhere, Hunter.
How's Gil? Gil's doing good, Joel. Thank you for asking.
Hi, Joel.
All right, so here's what I do for the head. I do the same thing like I did for the abdomen, only there's a difference. I'll show you what it is after I wrap enough around it. Hang on. The piece for the head is so long, it's kind of hard to wrap around without getting caught on it. Joel says hi.
Mm-hmm.
I like the story. Thank you for sharing, Gail.
You're welcome. We'll post it.
That was Mom, by the way.
Hi, Mom.
She might think it's Mary Lou. JK, she knows it's you, Janelle. So I'm still wrapping a bit. I'm gonna keep adding more, and then I'll show you how I shape the head. Excuse me. Janelle says hi.
Hello.
So as you guys can probably tell, I'm just going back and forth with the yarn. As I reach the torso, I might work on the arms a bit. Like I need to add some yarn to that. Because right now the arms are just wire. Let me get the legs out of the way real quick. How did you set up your playlist? I listened to each song from the albums I have. I went to iTunes and bought the soundtracks for Unravel 1, 2, and the soundtrack for Hollow Knight. And I just picked out the songs I think are the most peaceful and more comforting out of all of them. Then I just started putting them in the playlist. That's pretty much all I did. Okay, so I did the same thing that I do for the Yarny's hands and what I did for her legs. There's a little bump here for the arms, so I'm gonna have to thicken the arms to mask that a bit. I'm gonna take a break from the hat. My head is getting it's an obsession for her.
You're not supposed to talk to me.
Don't care. It's a good bicep builder. Arms look strong. Very funny.
No, it's from boxing. Tell them.
She's talking about the Yarny.
Oh, I thought you were talking about yours.
No. Well, you wanted to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, where I give Gail a handshake and I just flex while I do it? You want to be one of those? Huh? Is that what you want? I'm just kidding, Mom. I'm almost out of yarn for this scrap piece, so I'm just going to tie more on there. Yes, your arms look hide. H-I-I-D. What does that mean? Good. Okay. Thank you, Mom.
It's boxing.
It's because of boxing. I take boxing classes. Gail's making me tell you. That reminds me. I should have told Sammy that I was doing this stream. Maybe he could join in on it.
Yes, next time.
Yeah, I'll do it next time. Okay, I got the arms down. Now I'm going to go back to the head, because that's the main part that I'm working on now. I'm going to do that. Mask the exposed wire. Then I'm going to keep wrapping around. Hat and what is that? A red polka dot? Yeah, what is that? Hat yarn? Yarn hat? I think Kayla's asking me if I can make a stream. Is it still lagging a bit? It's not bad. Okay. That's good to hear. I want to make sure that you guys are not getting me just lagging and going all robot voice-ish or whatever. Okay, so I got this to a good length. Let me see. Now that we got the head, the wire for the head wrapped around like that, what you want to do, you want to bend it like this, you see? Then you bend it there. Well, maybe a little bit more like this. Bend it there. Then you have a little round part of like you have the end go like that for the chin. I might have to wrap something around that real quick. I have special wire that I use for wrapping called aluminum. Well, it's aluminum made wire for small details like holding pieces together like that. So give me a second. I'm gonna wrap some wire around there in a hook formation. I'm gonna turn it that way. Okay, crimp the little end there real quick. Now I'm gonna wind this around there. I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. Okay, so what I did, I took my aluminum wire and I started at the chin here, then I wrapped it around this part, then I wrapped that around there. Kind of like a zigzag thing. So that way it was nice and sturdy on there. I might do it again with some more aluminum wire. Make sure that it doesn't slip. Okay, got that. Now let's start wrapping around the head to cover up that wire and to get the right thickness for the head we want. Any hobby store, really. I go to Joann's for my yarn, but you can go to other places too, like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, to be formation on here, like that and that. And I might switch it up a bit as I go, like there, like this. Just go around the chin a few times with that, then just tighten that part up with some more this way. And I might do some bobby stitches, like bobby pin stitches, to make sure it stays fastened on there, because it will get loose if you let it, like just now it just did. Okay. So we got that. Now that we got that on there, I'm gonna, well, let me tighten some more around it. I'll cut it at that length. string the yarn on here. My little trick I showed you. I'm just going to stitch around in certain spots that'll hold it down. Like, just feel around and look for certain spots that you think is loose, and just go around it with the yarn and tighten it. That helps a lot if you don't want any of this to fray or come unraveled as you're playing with it, or as you're posing it or whatever. Okay, almost done there. Basically, to finalize your stitches, you just stick it straight through the piece a few times to make sure that stays. With, you just see here, you have the head shape you want. It's not exactly like this, but it'll work. Let's see how it stands. Just fidget with the legs a little bit if you have to. All right, let me get some flat to hold this up with. I know. See? Stands up pretty good. Okay. Now let's work on the body, like the chest. Grab some white yarn. Tighten it, like tie a knot around the chest, the currently existing chest, and one of the arms. Then trim the excess. And then start wrapping around that. I do a crisscross formation around the arms, like I switch directions like that. Then I just go straight around the body like that, a little bit around like that, and I keep tightening around it until I get the right shape I want. Okay, that'll work for now. Now, take the excess. I think I'll just stitch this yarn through the body and we'll start on the wings, because I feel like we've waited too long for that. Let's get started on the wings, shall we? These little guys. I need to make another one of those. I only have one wing so far, but that's okay. I can make the other one real quick. Although it may take time to wind the aluminum wire around the steel wire. Any of you have any questions so far? Because I've been kind of doing this silently at the moment. Just want to make sure that you guys aren't kept in the dark on what's going on. Okay, so we're at the same step as we were with this one. We just need to finish that one. Let's see. To make the wing you want, let me measure this real quick. See how long it is. I'll remember how to make the shape in a second. Just going to straighten it so I can get a good measurement on how long the steel is supposed to be. It's 19 inches for one wing. And I have bulb patches on there, so that way I can just wrap that around the part that I want. I can tell Gail's getting bored. She's falling asleep.
No, I have a pain in my neck. I have a pain in my neck.
Yeah, she's falling asleep. What are the models on your desk? Huh? Innovation. Let me bring them over. These are just 4 of the characters I got. I just wanted to get them for my Toy Story collection. I have Sparks from Toy Story 3. If you press his head down, his chest lights up, and if you roll him, there's a wheel here where if you press down on it, the light goes on. Switch from Toy Story 3. If you press the button on his chest, his wings go up. Heads up, guys. Gail's coming out. I think she's tired of watching.
I'm going to get the dog.
Oh, we're getting a dog segment too. I have. Oh, and if you press his head down, his mouth opens. And I have Chunk from Toy Story 3. Press his head down, he switches faces. Yes, because I like this character. This is Bo Peep from Toy Stories 1, 2, and 4. I got her because she's one of the female characters that I actually appreciate in Disney movies. Like, they're not a damsel in distress or anything. And she's smart, and I think she's a really, she's sort of inspiring. Like, she's not afraid to speak up, and she has a lot of words of wisdom for Woody. And that's pretty much why I have those. Anyway, as you guys know, I got the wings here. Let me just fidget with this a bit more. There we go. Let me just bend this part a bit more. There we go. And shift that around. Well, let me change that just a tiny bit. There. We got that. So now I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the wings. I take my pink yarn. In the video, the spider and the butterfly, her wings are slightly different because her wings are see-through. Her eyes are purple, but her wings are brighter purple. But I don't have any bright purple, so I'm going to buy color for her wings at the moment. So I'm going to have to straighten this out a little bit. I might keep that little bend there. Now I'm just going to twist this around. Make sure it's nice and tight on there. I'm going to try and do it without tying a knot on the wing. See if that works. If it doesn't, I'll just tie a knot on it. Like I'll do this and tie a knot. This keeps getting hooked on there. We're going to make a nice even coat of yarn on this piece. We're going to do the wings individually, so that way well, I don't really know why. It's just easier to work with one wing at a time, if you know what I mean. This is the funnest I've had all week. Really, just watching me do this. Who would have guessed? Or are you actually doing? Are you actually following along? Like I can imagine that being fun. Like what you doing right now? I was wrapping around and I lost grip with my other hand, so it flew out of my palm. Itchy nose. Like it's very tedious. I'm not kidding. Like sometimes, like I remember when I made the spider, the butterfly, in the original version of Veve. These three took me 2 hours apiece, and this one is a bit more complex and more refined. So you can imagine how long this is going to take. I might, like, I only have so much music to play. Like, I in my playlist, I had enough background music to play 2.5 hours at most. So in the event that I can't, like, I don't know, if you guys start getting bored or whatever, I might have a part two for this because this is taking longer than I thought. So right now we have the wings done on that, like at least on the frame. So here's what we're gonna do to finish this wing up. We're gonna wrap it around. Well, first we're gonna do some here to attach it to the body. Well, if we can. Let me figure that out real quick. How would I attach this? I'm gonna be honest with you, I forgot how I'm gonna attach this piece. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna sew it on until I have a nice looking piece there. And I'm gonna twist it all the way. And any excess that I have, I'm just gonna clip. And let me see here. I'm going to do this. I'm gonna take that twisted part and I'm gonna hook it around here. And then I'm gonna cover that up with more yarn. So we have a nice solid shape and we're good to go to continue. So let's see. Wrap around until we cover up all the holes in there. and we'll work from there. Honestly, she edits the wings to where they're see-through a little bit. I'm wondering if I should do that with these wings. What do you guys think? Or should I just cover it up completely and fill in all the holes? You don't think it needs to be too thick? Okay, I'll loosen it up a bit. Two ends together after I reach that point. I might just do a thin layer of this in a second. Like, oh, you know what? Well, I don't know if I have time to do that. I was gonna wrap yarn around some aluminum wire and then just wind that on there, but I don't know. I might just wrap this very thin, like a thin layer of it. Okay, that looks good on that end. Now let's see. Cover up the wire on that part. There we go. I might, you know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna finalize this wing by making a few stitches in there to hold all the pieces in place. I want to make sure this lasts a long time. So go through there. Like, just look for any loose parts, like I said before, and just tighten around it. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's, well, yeah, there's one more loose part here. Here comes Gail with Almond. Hi, Almond. What are you doing? Huh?
Where to sit?
Sit. 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 Come here. Come here. Sit down. Sit. 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 Good girl. This is Almond Joy. Are there different qualities of yarn? Yes, there are. It depends on what brand you get. And hang on, I just got a text. It depends on what brand you get and where you get it from. Miguel, you want the rest of these?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. Give me an almond. This is, look, you're on camera. Sit. Sit down. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Still trying to teach her that one. Up. Up. Almond. Look. Up. Stand up. Yeah, whatever. For being a good girl on camera. You didn't know, Joel? She's kind of getting walking all over my setup. It's whatever. Okay, so we got one wing done. Let's work on the next one. Does anyone remember how many inches the piece for the wing was? I forget. Gail's trying to put on one on the bed with her. I know she's fat. I don't remember what the length of the piece for the wing was. Let me do an estimate. So I had room there to work with. I did that. So there, there. That works. I'll trim that. And I'll use this piece later. So first things first, to do this, we're gonna need to wrap it around with aluminum wire. I'm gonna just do it a piece at a time. Get my glasses. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but aluminum wire is very easy to bend. Meaning you can wrap it very tightly around the steel wire. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have it like that, and I'm just going to crank it around there. That's how I do this a lot anyways. I just take it, I'm going to do a Z like that. Then I'm going to crank and have it go all the way up. All the way up around this thing. I may have to adjust the wire crank as I go, but for now this works. Like right now I have to adjust it. Hang on. I'm gonna have to catch the end of this later today. I have to do some things outside. Great job. Thanks, Mom. I might actually do a part 2 in a little bit. Like once I finish this second wing, I might do another live stream tomorrow if Gail and Dad will let me. They often give me stuff to do in the middle of the day, and as I'm doing that, I'll probably do the same time tomorrow because I realized that there's not many people, like a break between that, and also my computer battery's dying. I have 12% left. Well, like I'll finish winding it off screen, and I might do the same thing with it as I did with this off screen. I'm gonna let you guys have a little break for the day. We'll get back to this tomorrow at 2:30, same time. Unless you guys have anything else that you have going on at 2:30, let me know. But for now, we're gonna continue this in the next video live stream tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed all this, and it was great talking to all of you. It was very fun. Alma enjoys just staring at me on the bed, and so is Gail. So anyway, yeah, this was the part 1 of the Spiderfly tutorial. And I hope you have a good day, all of you, and Hope to see you tomorrow. Peace. Bye.